What's going on? It's Justeeni here, and today we've got some more tournament footage. I just keep making it to the finals in the Coliseums. I know. This time we're on some lakes. I'm going against Jack Cosmo, and I'll just kind of get right into things. So, game one, I've got a pretty nice setup. Lakes always has those two suburbs, so those being guaranteed here is nice, and they've got lots of animals, so very easy hunting here. And I'm going for the lighthouse as well, just to upgrade my cap. I get an explorer here, which seems a little weird, but the reason why is because the city is in the center, and I want to tell how the map is shaped because that's going to determine how I play this. So if there's a lot of land in the center, then, well, I want to play for the center. If I immediately run into a bunch of water and there's no villages here, then that means they could be on the other side, and I might want to play more economically because I'm not going to meet them for a while. But what I see is they're not on this side of the map for sure. They're either here, which is pretty unlikely, or down here, which is much more likely. And I get the center all to myself, which is amazing. So, very phenomenal spawn. I had to get one explorer, but it was well worth it. That 1-star per turn, just to know that I'm able to get away with some very greedy play from this point on. They even get this lighthouse here, just really confirming. Then I get forestry, I just want to get math, and then I want to set up markets. That's my game plan here. I get a climbing rune, which is pretty nice, because the only real way that the opponent can access me is either with bridges or this mountain here, because you can actually see they've got like land here and here. So like they're definitely here and they can't access me, but now I can also kind of blockade the mountain. And I get this explorer rune so I can really see what they're up to. They spammed a bunch of archers, which unfortunately doesn't really do a whole lot for them here because of the fact that there's a slightly inconvenient body of water in between us. At least it's inconvenient for them. It's very convenient for me because I'm able to just do my thing, get a bunch of workshops. I just set up a catapult here and they cannot break through. But they do level up their capital, which is a little worrying because if they slap down a port, they can start taking my cities and then I actually have a problem on my hands. So naturally, the way that I answer that is by first upgrading, and then upgrading some more. But afterwards, because I do have a plan, I'm not just upgrading because I feel like being greedy. I mean, it's kind of that, but also I can just make catapults in defense. Not only that, but I can also push this catapult to get in action even sooner. It's also going to have a giant close to the city. I've just got a comfortable 5 cities. I'm going to have some decent, not amazing, but decent market setups, which when I'm up cities like this, that's just going to do the job simply, and I'm just going to be in a better spot. They recognize they can't really attack me at all, so they just call it here. And so very fast game 1. So now on to game 2. All right, so game 2. This time I'm not hosting. My spawn looks pretty good still. I find this village. And I just kind of pursue this immediately. The reasoning here is if they, like, for some reason, were to get a warrior there and smack me around, I want to be ready by just having a second warrior nearby. Never hurts to be safe. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but I think it's worth it. And then once again, because this is near the center, I get an explorer, and I meet the opponent right away. Unfortunately, I was thinking about delaying the explorer 1 turn, which I probably should have, because I was thinking, well, if I meet them, I would get 2 extra stars if I wait a turn. And it would cost me 1 turn to wait, because, you know, I get 1 star per turn from leveling up the city. Which in retrospect, yes, but I wasn't guaranteed that I was meeting the opponent, so it was kind of a calculated risk. Unfortunately, it just didn't pay off here. And yeah, I get 1 less star. But now at this point, the decision of what to do here, I go for archery because I want to deny them the city and possibly even take it for myself. And I suspect this is going to be an archery game. This is a pretty common thing that happens on lakes because of these, it's not as open of a map, so archers tend to do quite well because riders aren't quite as good. And they get archers as well, but they have 4 cities to my 3. I get a warrior here though, with the intention of expanding in the west. And we're just gonna see a little micro. I get forestry so I can increase the amount of units I can train and my economy. and that will be pretty nifty. I do find a village in the west, do a little smacking around, guard this village to just deny them. And unfortunately though, I am down in economy and cities, so I'm gonna have to pull some absolute miracle here if I actually want to get things done. So I'm just trying to play as efficiently as I can, making really good trades and all that. I even entice them to attack it. They just kill a 3 HP archer that I didn't really care about too much. And I can take out their warrior. And yeah, they get their giant first though, which is very unfortunate for me. I'm going to send my archers up because they don't have a lot of archers themselves, which unfortunately maybe not the best decision because this choke point is just very annoying. I injure their archers instead of killing because 2 ineffective archers are better than 1 effective archer. So yeah, I get math though. I can get my own giant going, and I can potentially get catapults if need be. Oh yeah, I also, yeah, this turn, I sacrifice this warrior, and the reason why is because I'm stupid and impatient and an idiot. So yeah, this was dumb. And yeah, now they start advancing too. Possibly because of the fact that I sacked that warrior, which every little mistake adds up. Doesn't matter how the position looks, you want to make sure you're playing nice and accurate. Unless you're like completely winning or completely losing, you want to really try and make sure you're doing every little thing right, or else things can quickly come crumbling down. So you can kind of see just a few mistakes on my end. And yeah, now they have another giant, and this is really bad for me. I'm able to get this nice giant push here, but I can't really stop them from getting this. I mean, I can stop them for a turn. I can even get a nice cheeky catapult here with the giant push, but they just have too many archers, and I can't keep them off the village for long. They're going to get the giant there anyway, and they can actually just secure the village with the archer. I'm expanding a little bit here, but this village sucks. And again, I'm really just hoping I can do some sort of like crazy outplay. I get climbing just so I can get vision on this archer, which really sucks that I have to buy climbing for that, but it's what's it. Trying to just keep up some sort of defense. Maybe if I can buy time, I can pull something off, you know? I have to give myself as much breathing room as possible. I even try to do this where I'm trying to block this archer from my catapult. Unfortunately, I forget this archer can do a little pew pew there. It's only 2 HP, yeah, but this will still deal the full 9 damage because catapults have 0 defense, so it doesn't matter how much health the attacking unit has, it's going to deal the same amount of damage every time. Only the attack matters, not the health, when the defense is 0. And I see that they already have fishing and ports and another giant ready to attack me. So again, I don't have a lot of outs. I do have one interesting idea here. If I were to hypothetically have a monument in hand, which I don't have my killer monument placed down, and if I were to hypothetically, you know, hear me out, just possibly place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ports, and then in addition to that, place a monument for 9 population in addition to the 2 population here. Maybe that would be a giant, and it might be quite easy if they were to siege with a giant perchance, that I would be able to poof said giant and then be able to counter push very quickly because I already have ports placed down. This is expensive, but that's why I'm not resigning in this position, is because I still have an out. As long as you have some way of winning or creating some advantage, play on. Even if it's like a little silly and they have to do something stupid, still worth at least giving it a shot, because I don't really have much else going for me, so like, why not? And yeah, I'm trying to pressure here as well, because if I can do something here, maybe I can get a little initiative going. Then they're very rude and they siege with the vet sword, and they siege a turn earlier than I was expecting, so I couldn't even poof this vet sword if I wanted to. which is really sad. And they siege this as well. I can unsiege this at least. But, you know, kind of see what I do. I decide to actually just not unsiege it because I didn't feel like it. I don't know. I was already just completely losing here, so I was going for desperation. Just bunkering down. And then I only have one out here, or at least I thought I had one out. I should have honestly resigned at this point. Because I was hoping I could get enough initiative to grab a cloak, but unfortunately I'm 1 star short. So, not quite. That's also why I gave up that city, is it would make all my tech prices cheaper, because I didn't even have org. Unfortunately, though, I'm not able to pull the miracle comeback. I'm not built like Ram Dingler, sadly, but we still have one more chance in Game 3. Game 3, can I get another first place? I've won the past 4 Luxor. I've won every single one so far. Can I keep up that win streak here? Let's see. Let's just get into things. I missed my village, but then I find the village. I go for the lighthouse because it's really close. But then they steal this from me, which is so sad. But I once again hit, just kind of doing that bluff. It's funny. And there's also some reasons beyond that, actually. Because I'm about to get riding. And after they capture, I'm going to move my warrior. And now, if they were to kill this warrior, I can bounce off of it. So this 5 HP warrior serves an additional purpose beyond just possibly spooking them a little bit. There's some extra silly purpose, which they actually fall right into, which made me super happy that the play actually worked. You know, it's pretty snazzy, right? Like I hit the warrior with the intention not just of like maybe they don't capture, but also if they do, then afterwards. Like I felt really smart when I did that. But yeah, I'm going a little greedy here because I need to spam a lot of units, which sounds a little stupid. Wait, I need to spam units. Why am I playing greedy then? Well, I need the star per turn to do it. I just got a workshop and that put me up to 8 star per turn. Before then, I only had 6 star per turn after capturing. So I need eco to spam units. That's the purpose of economy. And yeah, they have archery. I smack this. I know it doesn't kill the warrior, but it's gonna buy me some time. It only takes 1 turn for me to heal each of these riders. It takes 2 turns for them to heal that warrior. So that is good for me. They just back up the warrior, which is absolutely fine. I'm expanding up here. They captured this village down here. They captured it last turn, I think. But the fact that this was just right next to my capital, I totally missed it, was kind of a little silly on my part. I get a nice kill there. I get org, just trying to level up because I do also need some unit space. I chop just to try and make sure I'm getting units on the board. You know, the long-term value of force is nice, but I do need that short-term. I need to survive, you know. You need to get to the long-term for it to actually pay off. Get another workshop up here because it's not even worth funneling an explorer. It takes too long, and also it's just, there's not really any benefit to it. Like, why do I need an explorer? But I'm able to defend, and I get climbing because I see this ruin, and you know me, I like gambling. For legal reasons, I do not condone gambling. Yeah, I just felt like that's important to mention. And they're pressuring my capital. They could get the siege. A little scary. I get the lighthouse. Then I get this explorer, and I find a ruin. More gambling. So I chop, so I can go here. Gamble. Yeah. I smack this warrior down. And more gambling. Oh my goodness. 3 ruins all in 1 turn. None of them are going to be explorers either, so we can get some juicy ruin rewards here. I upgrade my city, which... oh yeah, I did that for a unit space, that's why. Then they get roads, which I think is just a misplay for them because like they just placed 2 roads and then they didn't actually do much with them. So a little iffy. But then let's look at these ruins. So I get a resource ruin first, then I train a warrior. Why did I train the warrior after? Because I'm stupid. I should have trained the warrior first in case I got a pop ruin. And I kind of realized after, like, oh yeah, I should train a warrior in case I get a pop ruin. Then I get a vet sword, and then I get a pop ruin, you know. Pretty good overall. 2 really good ruin results and 1 okay. So really can't complain about that one. And this is going to really help because now my position is just amazing. I can snag roads. I placed my Park of Fortune here. I don't think it was actually optimal because I actually do want to get farming at some point. I was thinking like, oh, I might want math and the market spot, but who cares? I don't want to cover a farm. This was a little misplay, but it doesn't really matter too much at this point. I am in a really good spot because I have giants and they don't have giants based on their score, or at least it's very unlikely. And then now I can really start pressuring with the rider roads. And yeah, that's that. Yet another win. 5 wins in a row in the Luxor Coliseum, giving me a juicy 2,000 points out of the possible 2,800 in the standings thingy, whatever. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub. And have a good one.